everybody. It's Friday. I remembered the day. Yep. I am going to show you my favorite myofascial stretch method technique of the day. A la Friday. We're going to use our stretch out strap today. So this is a yoga strap, but if you don't have one of those lying around, you can use a twin sheet or a big bath towel, something like that. And you don't even have to have one, because the other prop that we're going to use today is the wall. So I'm going to scoot back so you can still see me, but we're going to work the back of the legs and hamstrings using the wall. Someone had asked me earlier about knee pain, and we've done a little bit of work. You can go check the video where we did piriformis with the tennis ball. You can work all those areas just to really say hi to the hips and allow making sure the leg is coming down nice and straight, right? So if the hips are off a little bit, it's going to throw us off, and that pressure on that knee joint will be a little wonky, right? We'll have a little more pressure on one side more than the other, or the body might need to stabilize itself because of that offset, and then it'll be tight on one side more than the other. Hey Tina, we're going to do legs up the wall today. So I'm going to pop on over and use the wall. And so a beautiful way, I love you, a beautiful way that you can manage how much distance you want to be. So closer you are to the wall, that will give you a little more stretch. So if your hamstrings are tight, like a lot of us are, you can have your bottom further away from the wall, and then it won't be as intense. And then you can add your little strap, lasso your foot, and bring it over. I'll show you how that goes. The other way you can add this piece is because if you have low back pain, so sometimes if we're seated and we're bending over to stretch our hamstring, we're kind of working hard and we have to use our shoulders and pull it all forward, or if we're even laying on our back and having our legs up, we're still kind of having to monitor and work really hard with everything. The floor is a great way, I know, right? The legs up the wall is fabulous. It's a great way to really take care of your back and be off duty a little bit while you get that hamstring stretch. So we are going to mosey on over to the wall. And the sun is shining crazy through that window, so I hope there's not a glare. So again, I'm going to adjust how close or far away, oh that is, look at that sun, how close or far away I am from the wall, depending on how tight your hamstrings are. And again, I usually get in here by kind of a sideways, so I kind of adjust how I am with my hip to the wall here, and again I can be closer or further away. And then watch this, this is a good one, giddy up. So then we kind of lay on our back and swivel, and now I can't see it all. Can you guys see me? You can't. That is hilarious. Hello. I wonder if we should adjust it. Oh, I don't think it matters. Does it matter? What do you think, Tina? I was trying to get my legs in. All right, watch this. We're going to put it a little lower. So you can see, I think sometimes people get in a little mix-up as far as how to pivot and get up the wall. So if I start facing the wall, it's a little hard. So again, come into the stretch sideways and then pivot. So here I am. I don't know if that's any better, but that's okay. I'm going to scoot a little bit because I want that stretch. And then you can bend your foot and lasso one foot or even two and get that stretch. I'm going to do one. Let's focus on one foot. Hello. And I'm going to lasso. I've got it on the kind of under the balls of my feet there so that I can stretch. And then I can even bring that leg closer to me, and I don't have to work so hard. If you don't need the strap, it's a great stretch just to sit here with your legs up the wall, right? So I'm letting the wall do the work, holding me up. The floor is supporting my sweet back, and my legs are up the wall. I'm noticing if my alignment's out, because it looks like one leg is a little shooting more. My pelvis might be out, so I'll be checking on that later. So I've got a strap where I can exaggerate that stretch or even bring that foot closer to me. Okay, so great. So there's a couple things we can do on the wall here, right? I can always add, again, as Alicia had asked about your knee, you can get that IT band and all this fascia on the side of the leg by crossing over just a little bit. And it's so easy with my back against the wall, and I don't have to go to the floor. I'm just getting a little bit on that lateral side of that outside of my leg here. I feel it in my foot. Yay! Stretch it. Any of those symptoms someone might diagnose as plantar fasciitis, this is spectacular for that one. So we got that beautiful stretch. And again, the biggest component is to hold it for 2 to 5 minutes, at least, right? If you're all game and your body's loving it, you can go to 10 and just let that stretch. Again, we're not bobbling around. You can see me kind of moving around. I got a little antsy pants. We're getting ready to eat dinner. I'm going to switch this side because I'm going to show you here. You can always do something else with this foot. Like if I can bend it, that knee, and then I've got a little more support. Because watch this. I'm going to do a little adductor stretch. And I've got the strap. I bent my knee and put my foot on the wall for this one. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And so then I can get a little more of that adductor, that inside of the leg, and even still up the back behind my knee and such. I've got my foot flexed, and my shoulders do not have to work so hard, right? I'm just hanging out, getting my stretch on. Beautiful elongation, right? So we had one leg or two straight up. Again, if you don't have a strap, you can just hang out here. And then we have where you can cross midline with your foot. And right, it doesn't even have to be far. You can just go just a couple inches and you can feel how that's going to change that tension line on the back of your leg. Beauty. Each foot and each leg is going to be different. So just really listen to your body. And then just ground yourself, right? Feel the floor underneath you. Feel your body. So we can really use it as a tool to, for me, it's so empowering, you know. It gets me out of my head with all this stuff going on. I can read a little bit of news and then I do some stretching and it just smooths it on out, right? All right, so then we've got that adductor stretch. And again, you can always bend that opposite knee and put your foot on the wall so you have a little more support. So that doesn't feel like I'm going to fall over. It's not torquing my low back. I can just get that beauty of a stretch right where it needs it. 2 to 5 minutes hanging and breathing and expanding from the inside out. If you go too far and you feel like you're having to brace, you're not going to actually get much of a stretch because your body's tightening at the same time you're trying to let it go. So you're just going to go to those spaces right to where your edge is, and that's where you camp out and start letting that tissue melt. And then when you get a little slack, you can take out the slack as opposed to forcing it or going past, right? I'm going to bring that leg. I'm going to even use my hand to help bring it midline because I got another beauty to show you. You can do your butterfly stretch on the wall. So again, you can adjust how much stretch you have just by moving your bottom further or closer to the wall. That'll change how much stretch you need. So go wherever it works for you. And then you can bring your feet together and let your knees come out. I love this because my back is completely supported and the wall is helping me. I'm not having to pull my feet in or pull my body down to try and get that stretch. So I can just come right in here. So we've got our butterfly stretch. So my feet and soles of my feet are together, and then wherever you feel that stretch or your body stops, that's where you're going to hang out and wait. And then there I noticed I was kind of hanging on my low back. So I'm just going to do a little inventory and feel my body. You can always use your stretch out strap if you want to just give it a little support so my feet don't flop out. And then I'm going to feel my low back and let my body melt into the floor. You could always do one leg at a time if you wanted one foot on the wall or straight while you did the butterfly stretch. So good. And then find your spot and give it the time. Use your breath and notice your pace. I worked on the computer today. I've been working on my beautiful beloved bus project today. And oh my gosh, I maybe was on the computer for an hour and I thought, oh, I could not do this. So I had to go stretch out afterwards, right? It is hard on the body, but so grateful I have these techniques so I can undo all that. All right, I'm going to go through it again, right? So we have our legs straight up the wall, or you can use your strap. I can pull this foot off the wall and cross midline and then hang out there for time, allowing the fascia to melt, right? I can go to the outside, and when I do that adductor, I like to bend that knee. So I come over here, I've got a little support, but I'm going to notice my low back. I'm going to have it nice and flat. If it starts arching because it's working too hard, it's not really getting a good stretch. I'm having to brace a little bit. Right? So I got my sweet adductor stretch there, and I'm going to use my hand to help it go midline. Then you've got your butterfly stretch, right? So I'm just bringing my soles of my feet together and my knees open. So again, you can get into the adductors here while your low back is happy on the floor. And again, just breathe and feel. And now I'm going to show you the piriformis stretch, okay? This one, usually you can cross a foot over your knee here. And again, listening to your body. And watch this. I'm going to bend that opposite knee. So I'm going to bring that foot to the wall. Ooh, I already feel that. Hello. This again, you can adjust by being further away from the wall or closer. So I can just shimmy a little bit back. And then I've got my stretch. And I feel that down the outside of my upper leg, IT band. I even feel it in my glute. So you can hold that knee out a little bit. So this beautiful 4 stretch. And you add this so we can hang out here for your 2 to 5 minutes, or you can even cross midline, right? And then that goes right down the outside of my leg. If y'all want to grab a wall, I'm going to go through it and hold it even and get my stretch on. So I'm crossing midline, and then I really get into that glute and piriformis. All of that can really affect the knee, right? However I'm standing and landing on that knee, if the hips are off or any of that, it's going to make everything compensate around that area. And so it's just going to pound and make that joint work harder than it needs to. So good. All right, so I'm going to get my feet up there with my stretch out strap. And I'm going to start with one side, and I'm going to just bring it close to me. I'm going to let my arms soften so they're on the floor. And I've got that strap on the ball of my foot so I can exaggerate that flexion. I can get that whole foot. Imagine a sleeve of tissue opening up down the back of the leg, into the foot. And find your breath. We're going to breathe and feel. And let your whole spine sink into the floor. Let your head be heavy, your shoulders. A lot of classes do these kind of hamstring stretches, but it seems like it's always so rushed. I'd rather do one leg the whole time they do 2, 3 different moves. So then I just go home and camp out, right? You might have a favorite stretch that you love that you found in different classes, and just hold it longer. Being mindful of your body and holding that. So again, you're just breathing and holding. I know in all the videos, I usually just kind of do a demo and show you the technique and the move So I just want to make sure everybody gets the importance of holding it. If we're not holding it, we're not actually getting that layer of fascia, the connective tissue, and that's actually where our pain or our compensations are coming from. The muscle is working hard because the fascia is tight or pulling it or exaggerating or restricting movement. And so we allow the fascia to open up. There's many different components of fascia. We often think of the elastin component, right? If you imagine like a spider web of tissue that has that elastic, it expands and contracts. But there's also this beauty of a cellular matrix that if you imagine everything's kind of floating in jello. But over time, just with any kind of tightness, it gets really dense, and so it gets more plasticky. And so the tine component actually on a cellular level changes that. It changes state like ice into water. And then that beautiful mind-body connection, it allows my mind to kind of reconnect with my body. So I'm feeling, I'm getting that feedback loop. I'm creating neural pathways that allow me to connect with my body. Why does that matter? Well, when you do your inventory, right, you kind of notice where your body is in space or time. I know my body's on the floor right now, and I know where the wall is. I know where the chair is. We're doing the inventory all the time. And so if you've got an example, say if you stub your toe in the morning, oh my gosh, that hurts. But if you don't go around all day stubbing the same toe, right? It's kind of out of our inventory. We got kicked out. Saved your life. Almost like the subtle piece of going into shock, right? You just basically disassociate. So this is going to help you reassociate with your body. Your mind's going to know what's going on. Whole body. Beautiful. So again, I'm going to go through all the different stretches we did today because the wall is so lovely. It's a great place to hang. So I've got my feet up here and I can do my hamstring stretch. This is golden. I teach a lot of my young hockey players this one. They're 12 years old or something. They can just do this before they go to bed, throw their legs up the wall. Or you can add a stretch out strap so you can exaggerate that stretch. So you can bring that foot closer to you. Right? The other thing we can do is we can cross midline. Look at that. I got so much more movement by adding that time. And then the other thing is you can open up that leg in the adductor. So I'm going to open it up in a V. I'm going to bend that opposite knee first with my foot on the wall and then open up. It's nice stability there. Again, our hips might have way more movement than that, but if your low back has to lift up off the ground, it's kind of not getting a whole stretch. Just look around and be curious. You'll find a good one that you love. And then we have the butterfly. So I'm going to let my feet come down the wall, my knees open and the soles of my feet together. I like a stretch out strap so I can just be mindful my feet don't flop around. And I can still let go, right? I can let my low back be nice and soft and reach for the ground and sink. And then your other piece is that beautiful piriformis stretch. It's a 4 stretch, so I cross my foot over that knee and then watch this foot. I'm going to slide it down the wall and it's going to bring this opposite side closer. I feel that all the way down the back of my leg. In that piriformis. Again, just to where you stop, and then you can even bring that knee closer to midline and you'll get more of a stretch down the side. It'll go a little more on the outside of your rumpus. And mind your transitions. There's a whole series there in the wall. In our stretch out class, we've done the wall the whole time. So you can always do a ball under the glute. Ooh, that sun is gorgeous. You can do so much on the wall. We do a lot of arm stretches and in there, so we'll be showing you some of those as we get through our days at home. Self-care in the body is so important. So it can be quite easy. We just get through our day, however that looks. It might be that you're really busy and reorganizing closets, or you might be working your tail off or watching the kids and playing teacher and doing all those things. And you might just be really kind of regrouping and watching TV and doing whatever it is you need to get through this. Whatever it is perfect. But add this piece where you're really adding the self-care. So you're taking care of your body. It can be such a tool and instrumental in how you process stress and how you feel, your mood, just also decreasing pain and tightness, any of those things that we automatically know that this is helpful for. But including this in your day, adding some routine to this time at home can be so helpful. I know it is for me. I hope you guys are doing well, and it's Friday, so our day tomorrow won't be much different than today, but it still is nice to kind of focus on that. I notice our pace has really kind of slowed down, and I've been cooking a lot more, which is nice. It's something I used to really enjoy, and I don't always make the time for it. And all the cookies are gone. I hope you guys have a great, magical day. I hope you enjoy your myofascial stretch method technique of the day. And comment and let me know how it goes. Share with your friends. It's really beautiful community that we're building, and we appreciate you getting the word out with us. And let me know if you have any questions. You can always Facebook message me or leave a comment below. I had a session yesterday with someone, so just know that I'm doing video telehealth sessions, and so we focused on what her body was doing, of course, and where she was at, and put together some stretches and whole different set of techniques specifically for her and what's going on with her. So if you're ever interested in that, Robin and I are both doing myofascial stretch method catered to you, so quite individual, and we can work with any of that. So you don't have to just be in pain alone. We can be a resource for you if you're looking for that, or just follow again. We'll be back tomorrow with our favorite stretch of the day. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye. Thanks for joining me, girls. Ooh, pancakes, my favorite. Bye.